We have metrics in place, instrumentation throughout our app to try and catch things like app not responding, terrible crashes, and things like that. But the biggest advantage we've had with this mobile release process that we've gone through is this phased rollout, right? And before we would release the app and then usually very quickly start getting alarms and alerts because things would be broken. And then it would be like an all hands on deck. What's the problem? We need to fix forward and fix forward fast. And then that has its whole own bevy of issues where you're trying to get the release out fast because maybe people aren't able to log in, right? Like worst case scenario. And because you're trying to fix fast, you could potentially introduce new issues. And that's something that has happened to us in the past. And now that we're on like this phased rollout strategy with our current implementation, we find these issues way earlier on way smaller sets of people. And it's not a drop everything and fix it. We identify the issue, the team or like owners of that particular area of the code base will get a fix in, we'll get it released, and things just continue on as normal. And it's way less of an emergency, which is way less stressful to engineers and allows for a smoother ride for everybody.
For us, the gains that we've seen have partly to do with, like, for example, when we have to do a hotfix, there used to be quite a lot of manual process required from release managers, sometimes on like really good periods of time when we wouldn't see the need for a hotfix for maybe a few months at a time. People would just, by not doing it, would forget how to do it. So they would have to go and reread through the process and make sure that we're doing it right. Whereas now that it's all automated, it's as simple as clicking a button. So we are seeing some, again, time gains there, but also perhaps a bit more like we're trusting the process a bit more because it's no longer a matter of, am I remembering this correctly? We've also seen an improvement in or a decrease in the number of RC fixes. So we have this concept of a hot fix is something that you do after a release has gone live, but an RC fix is something that you do between the time you've cut a release candidate to send that out for manual testing, smoke testing, whatever, and then the time between that and actually going live. And because we used to have a couple of days of allowing people to do RC tests, and with the pressure of having to get features in because you'd have to wait a couple of weeks before your next shot at it, we had quite a lot of dubious RC fixes, let's say. Is this really a fix that is needed, or is it just you trying to rush a change in? And through the rushed, let's say, approach, we would perhaps rush stuff that is not as high quality or as well tested as it should be. We've kind of removed the opportunity for people to do that, but also giving them a better alternative, which is we just have to wait a few more days. It's fine. It's not, just do your proper testing, do your proper due diligence, and then take the next train, which is half the time that you had to wait before.
That ties back to the sort of late arriving changes, the impact of those. And it's very cultural, making people comfortable with this idea that you don't need to squeeze it in just now. It's going to go out soon enough, and you just apply very clear-cut rules around it that can help avoid some of the bargaining or the wrangling.